Just look at that. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for everybody joining me today. And I was going to do another video, the black OBTs, which I've mentioned a couple of times now in the previous couple of videos. But as with keeping tarantulas, you go around doing your maintenance and then you come across something else that needs to be done straight away. So the black OBTs are still not outgrown their enclosure. They've just done so much web, it's hard to get in there now. So I need to put them in something bigger just so they can grow on a bit more. But right, so what I've got is these to rehouse today. So it's nothing massive. So if that's not your thing, seeing something smaller, then obviously you can watch something else or just go into one of my other videos. But today what I'm doing in this one is these two here are going to be rehoused into there, and it's the Orphnaecus species Panay blue earth tiger. They've got to the point now where they've removed the substrate below so much, it's right at the top. And they've got chambers going all the way through, but they just seem to be sat at the top squished. So I need to give them a little bit more room. So I'm not jumping up too far in size with those. This one here is the Psalmopoeus Pulcher, the Panama blonde. So that's, I think, almost an inch now. So I need to give that one some more room. So I've already done the enclosure. And over here into this bigger one, what I'm doing is in there is the Ephebopus Cyanognathus, the blue Fang tarantula. And that one has had loads of chambers at the bottom. It's all clear down here at the bottom. It's got chambers going up, but what it's done is it's webbed and blocked over the whole of the top of the enclosure. It just sits there by the lid. So that's obviously an indication of a molt, but it has already molted, or it wants to be more room and a bit more expanse. So as you can see, from that there to that is massive, and I think that's easily an inch in there. And I did have two of these, but the one I thought was a female just perished for no reason whatsoever. I was absolutely gutted, but this one's still doing good. So I'm going to transfer all of these over. So I think today what we'll start with, I think that will be easy, the blue Fang. I could take the lid off, it just sits there. So I think I could just encourage it to run in. It may go fast, but I'm not too worried about that. The Panama blonde, that is another easier one. Sometimes quite feisty because it's a Psalmopoeus, but I'm not too bothered about rehousing that one. This one here, the Orphnaecus species Panay blue earth tiger. These are fast, they're only small, but I'm hoping I could just pull it up and then get them in, and it will probably run out the side, but I'm going to try not to. But I've done something slightly different on these tubs because these web right to the centre and they web up to the top of the tub. So I've hot glued some bits and pieces at the top just to stop it going above that. So see if that works. So let me just do these ones first. So we'll go straight onto these and I'll show you what I've done. So one of these, they're both the same size, these tubs, but one's, I think, just a slight different shape. I think that one's just got a slightly bigger lid, but they're both the same size. I get them from the TikTok shop. So I'll show you what I've done. So as you can see, for the minute, that's all I've done. So it's about 2 inches of substrate, water dish, hot glue to the side, a little starter hole down there, and one at the back, whether they use them or not. But with this species, they sort of interlink a load of tunnels all the way through. But what I've done is I've just put a twig going right across the top that's not touching the substrate, and then hot glued a little bit of this wood cork bark across the top, so it creates like a gap underneath, but also they will dig down into the substrate and it will just stop them webbing, I'm hoping, across the top, just so I could take the lid off nice and easy. So let's just see if I can get one of these in, because these are very, very fast. See where they are. Right there on the edge. So let's have a look. You can see what they've done in the enclosure, and I've got a molt there, but they've pulled it away from all the edge and they've gone around and done a chamber which goes down here all the way to the bottom and then goes around, and then created like a web layer, and then done another one at the top to run off. So that's why I put the wood on the top, just to see if I can stop it going onto the lid. I have no idea the size of this. I think it's a good couple of centimetres, but I'm going to see if I can get this out into that enclosure now. particularly wanting this darting off anywhere because they are fast. It is right there. See if I can do it this way. I think you guys can see from there. That is so unusual. I thought that would have just run off. That's what they normally do. They come flying out. It's just moved around. Oh. You can see it just digging down. God, look at that. Look how quickly that dug down. It's got some beautiful coloration at the minute. I'm sorry I didn't give you a better look on that one. I was just more worried about it disappearing because these are lightning fast. And when I normally feed these, sometimes, I'd say probably 2 out of 10 times of feeding, they just run out immediately. They get spooked by the cricket twitching suddenly and it just makes them dart out. So I was half expecting this to run off. But you can see the coloration with the camouflage there to the actual tarantula, to the colour of the substrate that I've used. And you can also see the little, I was going to say, you can also see the little pink toes. And that is dug down straight away. So you can see why I did it like this. So hopefully this will work out. If not, I'll just remove it if they don't do it on this one. But sorry, you're getting the reflection there. So that was nice and easy. I'm not going to feed these ones. Some species I feed as I move them in, but I know they'll take. These won't. They'll need to feel secure, do some webbing, and they'll need to sort themselves out before they actually take a prey item. So that's going to be a few days. Right, and I've done the same again with this one. So you can see it's already got a bit of coloration on it there. So it is very, very nice and quite chilled and just settled down at the minute. Put an adult picture there on the side so you can see the coloration. So I don't think it's called the Panay Blue, but I've had one of these as a subadult before I moved it on to someone else because I didn't see it at the time. And then when I had it, I didn't really like fossorial spiders because you don't see them a lot. I wanted everything out in the open. But now I've come to appreciate the fossorial tarantula. They are just beautiful. And when you do get a rare glimpse after months of not seeing them, it is really, really spectacular, especially with like the cobalt blues. I had one of them that sat out quite often. But yeah, so I absolutely love these. Let's see if I can get this one in. This one's slightly larger. Whoa. Not sure on the sex of either of these yet, but I think I have one of each because they are slightly different with the legs. They're both at this exact same size, same stage, sorry, but the legs are slightly different and the abdomen's slightly more plumper on one than it is the other. So hopefully I'll get to sex them from this enclosure and then I can see what I have. But there we go, so I'll leave this one to settle before I push my luck and it runs out. There we go, all in, nicely done. So that's them, so let me move off. Right, okay, what should we do first? We'll leave the blue fangs, I reckon that might run away. Right, this one, the Panama blonde. I've had it in here for ages. It was a lot nicer, this enclosure. You can see there's a lot of mess going all the way around. And I just basically drop a few little dribbles of moisture, I'd say once a week around, and then once a week I'll just do a light 2-3 sprays of that, a couple of days apart, and that's all I normally do. So I let it hold a little bit of moisture at the bottom and it dries out at the top. This one has took an absolute age to grow. I did have 2 of these again because I never like buying one tarantula on its own. I always try and get 2 because you never know if you get a pair. But this one's took ages, and this one was really, really skittish at all prey items. Some of you out there in the hobby know that when you get certain tarantulas, you know what they like to feed, and they will just move from micro crickets, fruit flies, micro crickets, bigger crickets, so on and up and up. But you get the odd one tarantula that freaks out at everything. And this was that one. I had to feed it with cricket legs. So I'd pull off large cricket legs, leave it in, and it would go to them and eat, but it would take an age to do it. And then to get it to eat, I had to feed it like crickets of this size, the little small silent crickets, if you can see them jumping around, and they're like tiny. So I'd have to end up feeding them so often just to get this one to put on size, because you couldn't chuck 6 small silent crickets in, because then they would stress it out and it just wouldn't eat, and it would hide away in a little web cocoon. And I'd think it's molting, but it wouldn't. It would hide away just because it was stressed. So I've had this one, I'd say 2 years plus. I think 2.5 years. I had it when I was in my cabin, and it's webbed up the centre, right where the lid is, and then lives around it. But it is so skittish, and I think you can see the way it lives in there, and I don't like it, so I want to get it out into something a bit more clear and also give it a chance to grow. So I've put it into a nice clear one. I've got 2 water dishes, medium-sized ink pots. Put it either side, no stones in this one at the bottom or gravel layer, and a little bit of moss. That's all I've done, with a cork tube in the middle. So that looks horrible to look in there all the time, and you can see it's done it all the way around, and there's the feet of this one. So I'm going to see if I can get it in and then let you have a look. These can be quite feisty. I'm just hoping if I can lift that up. Yes. Look how well that camouflage is in. And Psalmopoeus are becoming my favourite genus. They are so feisty. I have more issues with the Psalmopoeus than I do like Sturmies, Blondies. I've got Enclosure intermedia that are like 15 centimetres plus. I've got a load of feisty tarantulas, but these, they just cause so many issues, like how fast they are. 1 minute they're calm, the next minute they just want to get defensive. But I love a good Psalmopoeus. But that looks beautiful. Let me just see if I can get it in. You can see we've got it in there. It's absolutely stunning, the coloration of this. I love their abdomens. It's like super shiny and like very smooth. Put an adult picture up there so you can see what they look like. So it's not far off its adult coloration. But I need to get this one off and in, because look, it just webbed up the whole of that soil, so it just become like a ball of soil. Not sure if you can see that, it's right there. There we go, I've got it off. And there we have it. That is so stunning. I'm hoping this is a female, because I've only got the one of these now, so I will need to get some more of these. But look at that, you can see the little pink toes, and I think that looks a lot better in there for it. So let me just pop the lid on this one. Love these enclosures, look so nice, so clear, and that will go into that cork tube in the middle. So that's that one done. Last but not least, let's do the blue fang. We all love a good blue fang. So what I've done, nice deep substrate, and I'd say got about 5 inches of substrate there. Nice big large ink pot on the side as my water dish, just hot glued that in. And then I compressed all the substrate down, a little starter hole there for it. And I'm hoping it won't then web up the centre to the tub so it can go around. But it's literally been living in its pot, as you'll see in a minute, just around at the top. I'll take this off and I'll show you. There's it, oh, right by my finger. Always seems to let me take this off if I don't let it pop and startle it. There we go. And I have got no idea if this is male or female. You can almost see the blue fang. Calicerae. Absolutely stunning. You can see on the abdomen there, you see that purple, is that coming up? I think it is. Such a beautiful spider, there we go. You can see that, yeah, that's coming up. That's through the hairs on the abdomen, and then look at the orange bands around the legs. No one might let this one turn out to be male now, because I've had so many in my collection that have turned out to be females, so I'm absolutely happy with that. I've also got an Enclosure intermedia. She's about, I'd say, that big, so she's huge. I think about 17 centimetres, and she's now a confirmed female. And I've got another one that I'm hoping to be a male, but it looks identical to the female, like there's no subtle differences, and it's going into molts. I think I've looked out and got 2 females, which is not a bad problem to have, but this is one of the ones I want to have as a female. I really, really do. I absolutely love these. I managed to pair the Ephebopus and I had a successful sack from them, so I wanted to do this. So if this one is confirmed female, I would definitely buy a couple of more to get some males. And the males of these grow very, very quick, but the females grow quite slow. So I'm hoping that this is a female. And they always hide their bums, because I always look at the abdomen to see how well fed they are. I did just give it a bigger cricket a few days ago, so it's eating all of it. And you can see the mixture of soil I did different in this one. So it is cocoa fibre, and it is my compost that I use as well, like peat. It's got no particulates or anything in it, and then also I run through this some vermiculite, and it just helps hold the humidity and separate the gaps in the soil as well, so it's a lot better for them. But now I'm going to stop it and put it into just cocoa fibre and my peat moss mixture, and it should be fine now. But I wanted you guys to see it. I think that might just wedge there. See, I think on camera it doesn't show the green. Off camera it does have a green tinge. Right, so I've just wedged it like that, so hopefully it will go down and run into that hole. But let's see what happens. Never had any issues with this one. It is absolutely stunning. I just want it to open up though. Look how chilled that is. No threat, nothing. There you can see the blue fangs. Oh my God, how gentle is that? You can see the blue fangs there. It's not actually the fangs, it's the chelicerae, as probably you guys know. Look at it. Stunning, is that just, look at that. My God, you could not get an easier rehouse. That is bloody beautiful. I cannot believe how good that was. That was amazing. That was super, super chilled. Seriously, that was absolutely perfect. I couldn't have hoped for a smoother rehouse. That was so, so good. Well, there you go. So a little bit of a different one. Some smaller tarantulas going on to juvenile stage. Definitely this one's juvenile because the blue fang don't get that big. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you liked the enclosures, and I will see you on the next video.